Whoa, what is that? Is that the new Huawei P8 Lite? What? Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man J Will. So we've got a nice phone here for me to show you. This is the Huawei P8 Lite. Pretty sure you guys already knew this was coming. Everybody's been keeping an eye on Huawei devices, and Huawei kind of set it off with the Ascend 2 and then the Snap 2. They've been doing pretty good. So let's see how the Huawei P8 Lite stands up against some of the competition. As you can see here, I have the white version, and I'm just going to give you a rundown, my spill on this device, and tell you what I think about it so far after having it for a couple of months. So it comes in black and also comes in white. I personally think the black version is extremely sexy, but I have the white and gold. The gold is kind of faint, but it's really nice. This is a nice device. So let's get into the normal rundown about this device. I'm going to tell you about the specs, and then I'll share some of my thoughts on the device itself. It has a 5-inch display coming in at 1280 by 720. So it's a 720p display. It's got 4G LTE for the US, which is great. It has dual SIM slots. This SIM slot doubles as an SD card, and I think that's pretty cool. You can put an SD card in here or a nano SIM, and this one uses a micro SIM. I think that's really cool. Specs show a 2200 milliamp battery, and it's overall pretty good. Like I said, it's LTE for the US, so that's a huge plus. Another plus that this phone has is the Snapdragon 615 octa-core processor. So that in itself is extremely nice. So you're looking at a 1.5 quad core and a 1.0 quad core A53 processor. It says it takes up to a 32 gig card, but I've put a 64 in here and it's worked perfectly fine. Comes with 16 gigs on board and 2 gigs of RAM. So 13 megapixel camera on the back, 5 on the front. Let's see, what else can I tell you about the specs? Shoots 1080p, obviously. I've been testing this for so long. It's pretty amazing. Going back over it now, it seems weird. But there it is. So I'm going to give you a once over so you can see the proximity sensors and a camera up front and speaker grill there. Got the nice Huawei branding down there. And a nice kind of, not textured, but like this different material. It's like a high gloss up here over the camera. So glad they didn't put like megapixel count up here or something like that. That would be freaking weird. But the phone is really nice itself. Again, this is the gold version. Speaker grills on the bottom. Headphone jack up top. Mic up top. Power button right here. And volume rocker right there. So let's get into a little breakdown about this device. This device retails for $249 right now, but you can actually get it for $200, I believe. They're giving like a $50 promotion or something like that. I think you have to go sign up or go buy it. It says their 1-year anniversary today, so that's what they're looking at, giving you some money. So how does the screen fare against some of the other devices out there? Well, it's 720p, and you know, I think by today's standards, we're looking for something a little bit higher. Everybody's kind of looking for 1080p on all their cell phones. I'm trying to get a nice bright wallpaper so you can see how the screen pops over camera here. So the screen is pretty good. It won't blow you away because by now everyone's pretty much using a 1080p display on a lot of these entry-level phones. Well, not entry-level, they're calling it mid-level, but I don't think it's so much a mid-level. I think the only thing that will make this a mid-level phone is the fact that it has a 720p display, because it does have a nice processor in it, the Snapdragon 615. So that kind of bumps it up a little bit, but that's just my personal opinion. But the device itself, the display is pretty nice. Yeah, it comes across good on camera. The display won't wow you, but it is a nice display. I mean, you're looking at 720p. So most people don't count the megapixels, or not the megapixels, the pixels per inch when they're using the average customer won't count the pixels per inch, but you know, some people think that's important. The screen is okay. The body of the device is obviously really thin. I believe this is like 7.3 or 7.7, I believe. Super thin. Nice design. The slab design, obviously, it's pretty nice. It's got on-screen buttons, so you get a little bit of the screen chopped off, but that's okay. You can actually hide the buttons. As you can see, just turn that on in your settings, and you can just have the buttons at the bottom go away. But no physical buttons on here. The body's pretty good. It looks okay. The black version is really sexy to me. The white is good. The black looks really nice though. Sound quality on this, it definitely has some loud speakers. They come from the bottom there. See if I can play you a quick sample. And let's see here.
Alright guys, we are back with another video. It's one of the best cases for the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge.
So sound quality is, you know, it's pretty good. Even though it has a bottom firing speaker there, this isn't two speakers. This is one speaker and then the other one's a mic. So even though it has a bottom firing speaker, it's still not the loudest speaker I've heard. Actually, I think the Snap 2 speaker is extremely loud. Anyway, here's how it looks next to the Snap 2. It's definitely a little bit thinner, but pretty much the same design. Different build quality though. Get some props here. The speaker's okay. It's not the loudest or best speaker you'll hear on the device, but you know, it'll get you through on a video. So I'll take a picture here, my little props, get some with some color here. Pop a cricket card on here. Let's take a picture here. You can see how that picture comes out. So again, I mean, with what they're offering for the price, this is kind of what you'll get for picture quality. I mean, it's not the best 13 megapixel camera. It definitely does not rival any of the other phones that I had to have a 13 megapixel camera. I actually think the Snap 2's picture, do I have them powered on? Yes. I'll take a picture of the same thing with the Snap 2 so you can kind of get a comparison. I think the Snap 2 has a better camera. It produces a better picture. That's just my personal preference here. Let's get the camera out for the Snap 2. Snap 2 just seems to me it looks a little bit better. And you can be the judge. What do you think? How's that look? My personal opinion, I think the Snap 2 produces a better picture. But I mean, the cameras will get you through your social media and things like that. You know, it'll get you by. You'll be able to post all you want to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you know, all those places, and the pictures are good enough for that. It's a pretty good camera. I like the Snap 2's camera better though. Web browsing on here is going to be a joy because you have a 5-inch display. And I'm going to do some surfing here. Go to some websites. I've got it in airplane mode because I've got all my SIM cards are in other phones, but nonetheless, I'm going to show you over Wi-Fi. So, web browsing on a 5-inch display is great. I can't think of anything that I would dislike about the browser. Chrome browser obviously, you know, has its issues, but you can definitely install another browser or use the default browser that comes from Huawei. I believe it's on here somewhere. Yeah, they have their own browser on here too. Nonetheless, web browsing is pretty good. Call quality on here actually is really nice. It's on par with every other phone that I have. No issues with drop calls or anything. The reception has been clear since I've been testing this phone out, and it's been really good. It hasn't failed me yet for a call. Battery life on here has not been as good as the Snap 2. Kind of comparing these two because they're right in line with each other, but the Snap 2 has fantastic battery. I mean, it can deliver some serious standby time, and so can this phone. But this phone has been on standby for probably a week. Let me go into the battery because I haven't used it a lot lately here, but 9 days and 14 hours. It's been I've been using it on and off, just not a lot. And it's got pretty good battery life, but the ultra power saving mode on here, I don't think it works as good as the one on the Snap 2. See, so the ultra power saving mode, let me turn it on for you here. You can see what it looks like. This is what you get with this. But I've put it in this mode before, and the battery just really didn't last as long as I thought it was going to last. It just didn't. I don't know why. But the Snap 2 has long battery life. Even with heavy use, I found that the Snap 2 lasted a little bit longer for some reason. Snap 2 has a bigger battery, I believe. I have to double check that. But Snap 2 gave a better battery experience for me in my personal use on these. I tested these together about a month ago. I did the same thing on each one of them pretty much about the same time. Played a video for 2 hours, or did examples like that. And the Snap 2's battery just lasted a little bit longer. But overall, won't drag this out too long. The Huawei P8 Lite is pretty nice. It's a good looking device. It definitely looks better than the Snap 2. But like regular performance, I've just found that the Snap 2 did a better job at some of the things, especially the camera. But this device overall is pretty nice. I wouldn't say that it's worth $250. I wouldn't even say that it's worth $200 just based on personal use. And the reason I say that is because you have phones like this now who have almost the same, it has the same processor, but it has a 1080p display, and this is the Idol 3. This has a 1080p display. This retails for $250 as well. So you got to ask yourself, do I want a 5.5-inch 1080p display, dual front firing speakers, a much better camera, and this was retailed. It pre-ordered at $199, but his retail price is $249, the same as the P8 Lite. Do you want that in a device? Do you want to pay $250 for this with a 720p display? Out of these two, I would pick the Snap. I think the Snap 2 is probably the better purchase, if my honest opinion, if I were going to choose between these two. The Snap 2, for me, produced better battery. It's a little bit more rugged. I like the matte feel on the back, the texture. The speaker is really loud on the Snap 2, even though it's facing the back-facing speaker. It's really loud. The cameras, I really like the cameras on the Snap 2 better. So you just have to ask yourself, am I going to pay $250 for this, or just get the Snap 2? And then when you bring phones like this in that are $250, it's kind of, to me, a no-brainer. I would not pick the P8 Lite over the Idol 3. The Idol 3 has many more features, and I think this P8 Lite is nice. But I definitely would not pay $250 for it. Maybe around $179, almost to match the price of this. You're just getting kind of a different design, a little bit better processor, but I couldn't really tell the difference in the processing speed between these two. That's just my personal experience with it. So, but there it is. This is the P8 Lite from Huawei. How do I rank this phone? I give this phone probably about an 8, 7.5, 8. It didn't really wow me like I thought it would. The design is gorgeous, but overall, performance-wise, it didn't perform any better than the Snap 2. And that's the best example I can give, because to me, I kind of rank these together. Even though this one has a higher price tag, probably because it's got the P8 title, but it's still pretty much performed right on par with this one, and I think the Snap 2 performed a little bit better. So, with today's market at $249, I don't believe that this is the best deal out there, especially when you still have phones like Windows phones that come up. They have fantastic price tags on them, and they perform just as well, if not better. My 635 is still a beast of a device, and I probably should do a battle with that and this, just kind of see how that'll work out. I'll definitely match it up against this, though. I shouldn't, because I feel like this offers it offers a whole bunch more, and it's fairly priced compared to what it's offering compared to this P8 Lite. So there you have it. That's my spill on the P8 Lite. I give it about a 7.5 or possibly an 8, but I think for $249, I would probably knock another 80 bucks off of this, and or am I being too hard on it? Probably about under 200 this phone should be priced. I don't think it's just by the performance that I've got and the way the screen looks and everything and what today's market is offering. I don't think it should be starting off at $249. There you go, guys. That is the Huawei P8 Lite. It's your man J Will. Good phone. Take care, guys.